Okay, so welcome to EE306. You are section 01. The 9 a.m. class is section 02. Now, the way I teach, I'm going to explain a little bit on how the technology and the course design that I have implemented in my classes. Okay, so I have this computer right here. It's extended to this writing tablet, display writing tablet, and then this writing tablet is projected on the screens in front of you. This screen that you see on the projector is also shared on Zoom. So if you want to attend class online, you can attend class online. That shared screen is also recorded. So recording is in progress right now. The only thing that's recorded is the shared screen and my voice. Okay, nothing else is recorded. So students can attend class in person, can attend class live online, or the third option is I post the recorded videos on YouTube. And so you can watch the videos asynchronously. So typically students are familiar with me. They attend class on the first day. They might attend class on the first week. And then I don't see them for the rest of the quarter, except on the day of the final exam. So you can take the entire class online or asynchronous if you wish, which is your option, okay? So that's the first thing. This is how I teach, right? So I'm writing here. It's a digital whiteboard. Well, not even a whiteboard, digital board. And then it's projected. And then you can see my annotations and everything that I write on the screen. So that's the first, that's the first thing, right? Let's see if this works. I tested all of this out last week, so hopefully it should still be working. Yeah, it works. And then the next thing is I use Microsoft's OneNote. Let's see. I use Microsoft's OneNote. And the feature that they have is called a class notebook. Okay, class notebook. It is integrated into Canvas. All you have to do is you sign up through Canvas. Sign up as in you link through Canvas. How many of you, I think some students have done so, some have not. I strongly recommend that you do, because when you sign up through Canvas, you will see my annotations automatically in real time. So anything I write here is automatically updated in real time, and it's available to you at your end. Okay. The notes will not be editable by you, but you can actually copy these slides into a different section of the notebook, and you can make your own annotations on there. The point being that, once while the instructor is talking, students are not, do not have the burden to take down notes all the time, because the notes that I make here, the annotations that I make, are already available to you at your end. So that's how the class material is delivered. You can watch the lecture videos. You have the annotations available to you at the other end. You have the slides. I was going to say the slides are posted, but they're not yet posted. I'm reworking through a whole bunch of things. And so I'm a little bit behind on that. So I have about the first chapter done. I have the first 8 or 10 slides that are on the class notebook, but I also post them on Canvas. So you can get them on Canvas also. Okay, that's the first thing. I'm not the first, that's the second thing. All right, let's go to the course website and I'll go over the syllabus. Okay, now if you have logged on the website from your mobile devices, you might not have seen the front page, but my website is set up a little bit differently than what you may have been used to. This is the front page. You can view this on a laptop, desktop. You can also access it on mobile devices like your smartphones, your tablets. It'll still work, okay? But this is the front page of the course, and this is a merged Canvas site for both sections, 01 and 02. But the way that Canvas is set up, it only displays section 01, okay? For you, it's not a problem because you are section 01. Somebody who's in section 02 will only see 01, okay? The Zoom meeting requires a passcode. It's right there. The links are on the left right here. So you open that up. Basically, it's the same exact meeting every lecture class. The only difference is it appears in your calendar, so it gives you a reminder that it's about to start. Otherwise, if you just have the meeting and the passcode, you can log in anytime. All right, then lecture videos. Again, as I said, typically I post them by the end of the day of the lecture. So I get done with the lecture class, depending on what else I have to do on the day. but by the end of the day, by 4 or 5 p.m., it's already online and available. So the links are right there. And you can, both sections are on there, so you can check out either one if you want. Let's see, let's go to syllabus. All right, section 01, 8 to 9. Obviously, you know the location because you're all here. Communication and office hours. Actually, I know, let's go to attendance first. So I don't mandate attendance. You are all adults. You are in charge of your own education. If you think about it, you're now juniors. Half of your educational journey is over. Okay, by this time next year, you will be thinking about applying for full-time positions, right at the beginning of your working career, professional career. So attend the class, don't attend the class, it's up to you. You decide what works best for you. If you want to work online, you can do so. You don't have to let me know, right? If you miss a class, everything is still available to you. If you're sick, you caught something, you stay at home. I assure you, nobody wants what you have. So attend online, watch the videos. I'm not going to monitor. I'm not going to take attendance, right? You're adults. You're in charge of your own education. You decide what works best for you. That being said, if you are present in class, that's obvious advantage. We can ask direct questions. If you attend online on Zoom, also, you can feel free to ask questions. I will not be able to monitor the chat window, but you can feel free to interrupt, okay? Just as you would do as you were in class. So that's regarding attendance. For first week, let's see. I get into homework and textbook later on. So Zoom option is available to all students, okay? You do not have to ask permission. That's the main thing I wanted to say. All right, let's go to communications and office hours now. All right, hstrata@calpoly.edu. That's my email address. Use my email, use Canvas messaging. Either way, it doesn't really matter. When you send an email, just be sure that you enter the subject line 30601. That helps me find the answers that you want, quickly and efficiently. It seems like a small thing, but at my end, it makes a big difference, right? Because I'm also teaching another section of 306, and I'm teaching 4 sections of the lab of 346. So when you ask questions, there will be some overlap. So if you want me to go in there and take a look at something, I'll need to bring up the Canvas course, go into multiple sections to figure out which class and which section you're referring to. So just 30601 in the subject line, nothing else. And then anything else you have, put it in the body of the email. Let's see. Oh, always use your Cal Poly IDs if you want to communicate with Cal Poly faculty or staff. 2 reasons. If it's non-Cal Poly ID, sometimes the spam filtering will flag a specific word or something in your email and send it to spam. So if you use a personal email ID and it's not verified, it might go to spam. Even if you have successfully sent an email previously, that could happen. It happens all the time. Okay, so always use your official ID. Second, and more importantly, anybody can spoof anybody's email, right? John Doe, somebody can make up johndoe@gmail.com, at yahoo.com. Somebody can make up hirenprada@gmail.com, right? And make it seem as if I'm sending you some email. For you, if somebody spoofs your email and sends me an email asking for your grades or some personal information, if I don't pay attention to the email address, I may inadvertently divulge some personal information about you to a third party. So this goes for everybody, not just for me. If you're contacting faculty and staff, always use your official Cal Poly ID because it's verified, it's assigned to you. Personal email addresses are not. Okay. All right, so my office is in 117, makes it easy. It's in building 20. It's right in the middle prong, opposite the SPL. Okay, right opposite the SPL, room 111. I'm very easy to find. I'm usually here from 8 to 5 every single day. But this quarter, I am on campus beginning around 7 o'clock, 7:15. So I'm here every morning at 7:15. So if you have a question in the morning, also you could stop by. I might be preparing a few things for the class every day. But if you have a quick question, I'm happy to answer. Okay, so I'm here every day from 7:15, and I put down like 5 o'clock right now in my calendar. Hold on, I'll come back to this. So that's my schedule at the bottom of the page. I put down 5 o'clock right now, but I probably might leave around 3 or 4. I don't know, but I'm here every single day. Okay, Tuesdays I'm booked from 8 to 6. But if you have a question, you can stop by the lab. Sometimes there are a few minutes where I can answer questions. So if you have a question about lecture or anything else, I'll be happy to answer those. I'm in room 148 when I'm teaching the lab. Actually, everybody's lab is in 148. It doesn't matter which 306 section you're taking or 346 section you're taking, your lab is in 148. The Tuesdays all day long, I'll be there, except for when there's a department meeting. So that's my schedule. Okay, office hours, typically open door policy. If my door is open, even if it's closed, just knock on the door. If I'm in there, it takes me about 15, 20 seconds to walk from my cubicle to the door. So, after knocking, just wait for about 10, 15 seconds. If I'm in there, I'll open the door. And if I have, typically, if it's a few minutes, I'm happy to answer. Okay. The student hours listed here, they guarantee my availability in the office, meaning I will be in the office, or at least I'm in the building between 10 and 11:30. Okay, so if you have questions, that is the time to come find me. But the olive green lines that you see in there, the olive green sections, I'm also available during those times. But the availability is not guaranteed. I might be out of the office. I might be somewhere else. I might be in the department office, go for a walk. I don't know, 5 minutes break. So just send me an email or confirm with me before you arrive to the office during those times. But the green noted student hours, I am guaranteed to be in the office. At the most, I might have gone to a restroom or maybe to the department office to get a printout or something. Otherwise, I'll be in there. I designate my office as a safe space and safe place for all students. So feel free to come by anytime you want, whether you want to just come hang out. There's lots of students who come there. They want to do their homework, because if they have the question, they can directly ask me what questions they have, right? So we have a small area in the middle of the room. The office space is shared between me and 4 other professors. Okay, so there is a student area. There's a desk in the middle. Students can come in, hang out, stop by, say hi anytime you want. You have a question, feel free to come by. Any questions so far? Okay. All right, course information. We are here to study EE 306. All of you are registered here. I think almost all of you have your prerequisites done. If not done, then you would be getting it done sometime this quarter or sometime this year. So I'm not worried about that. The registration for 346 core requisite is also automatic at the same time. So I'm assuming everybody also has that too. Here list the major topics covered, the course goals, learning outcomes. They are picked directly from the ABET syllabus. I cannot deviate from that. The assigned textbooks and the assigned material is something that is already decided by the department, and ABET monitors for accreditation purposes. And so it's not something we deviate from that. We are required to teach this, then we are required to assess your knowledge of these topics. Okay. First day of class is September 23rd today. Last day is Friday, the week after Thanksgiving. And then the week after that is, of course, the final exam. Class meets in person every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Teach live and in person, broadcast online, and recorded videos are also available. Basically, I'm skimming through and just hitting the main points, but I would encourage and recommend that you read through every section. Class notebook. This is free software. This doesn't require a purchase. How many of you have used OneNote before? Right, good. OneNote is a very powerful note-taking software. There are many others too. Lots of other students have their own digital tablets. They prefer to write on your iPads or Android devices or Windows devices, and they have their own software, note-taking software. But this is what I use. OneNote is free anyway to the public at large. We don't need a subscription for that. So if you sign up for that, sign up through Canvas site, you'll be able to link through the notebook that I use. And then lecture videos are recorded and posted online. All right, textbook. There are some issues with the textbook that the bookstore is still working through. It's a Cal Poly custom edition of 2 books. There's Microelectronic Circuit Design by Richard Yeager, and then there's Analog Circuit Design by Jose Franco, I believe. We are just so used to using the last names, Yeager and Franco. So Yeager is available through Connect, and Franco is available through Red Shelf. Has anybody been able to access the Red Shelf? The bookstore told me they were trying to fix it, but I don't know if it's fixed or not. No? Okay. All right. The package, the custom edition package from the bookstore is like 2 printed copies plus the online access code. It runs close to about 225 for the entire package. If you take just 1 quarter, 1 book for CPE students is about 125. I negotiated with McGraw-Hill to get like a cheaper version, cheaper price, which is the digital only package, $49.40 or $49.50 or something. So it's less than $50. Here's the thing though. Some professors do not mandate this. I make this a big part of my course. It's a big part of your grade. And so I require every student to purchase this digital package. So again, it costs about $50. Now, when I was a student and when I first heard that the professor is making me buy like a package just for homework, my first thought would be, I don't want to spend this much money, and is the professor lazy? Why are they making me spend this much money for just homework? 2 things about this, and I understand if you have the same feelings also. But as I stated earlier, I make this a big part of the course as well as your grade, okay? So there will be several homework assignments throughout the quarter, which is fundamental to your learning, okay? Homework is not just given just for fun. It's not something that we like to give. It's most of the learning happens outside of class. When you are in class, the instructor, the teacher, more so for higher education, is more like a guide. You know, we curate the material, we pick out the material we think it's important for students to learn, and we provide it to you and we guide you. And then most of the learning happens outside of class when you do the homework. Okay, so homework is not like high school or like middle school. Here actually serves a bigger purpose. Most of your learning happens when you do the homework. So there will be several assignments. There'll be some reading also that I would assign. There'll be homework assignments. There might be some quizzes also through that system. And homework is a big chunk of your grade. It's up to 40% of your overall grade. So my course is divided into, let's see, 40% of your overall grade. So if you are spending money, I'll make it worth your while. Okay. The upside of this is that you can get a decent grade if you do all the homework assignments. And, you know, speaking of which, from here, let's go over to the next section. So from here, this is all the stuff you probably wouldn't need, you know, contact the support, hopefully. But if you do, then the information is here. Okay. But since I'm talking about this package, let's go to assignments and grading and pick up from there. So course grade is split into 3 parts: homework, quizzes, and the final exam. There are no midterm exams in my classes, but there is a weekly quiz. And then my target for the entire quarter is usually about 7 to 9 quizzes, which works around to about 2 midterms. Okay. What I found from student feedback and from, you know, prior years of experience is that students prefer it this way. There's less pressure to not accumulate material and try to get everything done in 15 minutes of class time or exam time. Okay, so I've gone with the approach that you'll have several quizzes throughout the entire quarter spread around bite-sized pieces, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes max. And then you have about 7 or 9 of these quizzes that rounds up to around 2 midterms approximately, sometimes even longer than that. So homework is up to 40% of your grade, quizzes 40% of your grade, and the final exam is what, 20. No individual assignment or category is going to affect your grade in a large amount, meaning a final exam is not worth 30 or 40%. So if you do bad on the final exam, your grade is like, underwater, below sea level. 20% means that you have to earn a decent grade on the final to earn a decent grade in the class. But if you mess up the final, it is not going to mess up your grade overall. Homework and quizzes the exact same way. If you mess up a few homework assignments or a few quizzes, it's not going to affect your overall grade by a big margin. Okay. Not the downside, but the flip side is that you have to, or you must keep up with the homework and you must keep up with the quizzes. Because if you don't, it's impossible to get a good grade in the class. If you do, it is easier to get a good grade in the class. Questions? Yes.
You're saying some quizzes stop showing up. So are the quizzes online?
Yes. So the question being asked is, are the quizzes online? The online part is, it's live online, meaning students can sit wherever they want. I've had students, sit, I think they were far away on vacation or travel or something. I've had that happen a couple of times. But you can be anywhere in the world. You just log in online at the same time as the class, log into Zoom with your cameras on. When you're attending class, cameras will be off. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. But when you're taking a quiz online, your cameras must be on, angled towards your work space for proctoring purposes. And that's it. That is not recorded. That is not stored anywhere. It's just live proctoring. That's all. I'll get to the quizzes in a bit. So the homework is further split into 2 parts. The Connect assignments, that is online, worth up to 30%. And the scanned work, basically, the assumption is that if you have an online-based homework, you would actually be doing the work somewhere. If there's a problem, you have to work through multiple steps to solve that problem, right? Whether you work on paper, whether you work on a writing tablet, you must scan, create a PDF of that work and upload it on Canvas. Those uploads by themselves are worth 10%. Those are not graded for penalty. Okay, meaning as long as the work is done and is uploaded, you get full credit. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? Let's say there's a problem about diode characteristic curves. You're perform the analysis. There's 4 or 5 steps, and you find the answer. You submit the answers online. That gives you, that's the Connect version. That's separate, and then you just simply scan your work, however you want to make a PDF, and you upload it online. I'll review that work, make sure everything's done, and then you get full credit for that. As long as the work is submitted, you get the full credit. There's no penalty or deduction. So 10%, I like to say it's kind of like freebies. Okay, as long as it's submitted, you get full credit. But the work must be done. Now, when it comes to Connect assignments, it's geared or it's set up to the benefit of the students. Okay, there are several extra credit problems in the assignments. There are multiple attempts. There is a due date, but there is no fixed and hard due date. The assignments are open till the end of the quarter. You can submit anytime you want, but there is a due date after which there is a penalty of 5% for every 24 hours. Okay, so late homework is accepted. You don't have to contact me for an extension. Maybe, you had something come up, you were running a few hours late, maybe 1 or 2 days late. You don't have to ask for an extension. You can simply complete the homework and submit it. Okay, minimal penalty of 5% for every 24 hours that you're late. for every attempt of problem that you make, there is a small penalty of 3% deduction, meaning if you get the answer wrong, you can submit again. You can submit again and again until you get it right. But every attempt is going to cost you about 3% of the earned grade. Now, that is all done automatically by the system. So that is not transparent to me. How they do it, I don't know. I'm assuming it's linear, meaning it's a 10-point problem or whatever, then 3% would be deducted linearly. But that's how the system tells us, at least. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Any questions about homework? So late homework is accepted, 5% penalty per day, 24 hours, and multiple attempts. There's actually unlimited attempts to submit your answers. You can keep submitting until you get it right. But I would say, after 5 attempts, if you don't get it right, just let me know. Contact me, and then we'll walk through it together. Okay. Typically, students would do about 3 or 4 attempts and then reach out saying that what is wrong. All right. Questions? Yes.
Questions change for each attempt, or the same?
No, it's the same. It's the same. So each of these has a section devoted to it. Please read it through it and let me know if you have any questions, okay? And then physical work. And then quizzes. Oh, everything is total together, meaning all the homework assignments are individual points, and all points are collected together and assigned 40% of the entire overall grade. Okay. The extra credit that is there in the homework problems, there is no max limit. There's no cap on it. You get to keep what you earn. Okay. So it happens all the time in my classes. Students, it's optional. There are some questions that are remedial, meaning tutorials and stuff, and there are others which are advanced level, which are higher. So those might be extra credit. Those might also be for practice. Let's say you have a 10-point problem. You have 5 10-point problems in one homework, and there's another 5 points of extra credit. Let's say you lose about 3 or 4 points in one of the other problems, and you earn the 5 extra points. So the points that you lose are made up with that extra credit 5 points. But then there's 1 point left over. It carries over to the homework total, meaning it could apply to another homework in some other part. Okay, so you do not lose those extra credit points. So you don't have to do those, they're optional, but if you do, then you get to keep what you earn. Also, it carries from one homework assignment to the others, and homework category as a total. If there's anything left over above the homework, meaning you earn more than 100% in your homeworks, all homework assignments, it will apply to your overall grade. Okay, so again, it's geared to the benefit of the students, it's geared to your benefit. Any extra credit problems or extra credit that you earn is applied overall to the homework as well as to your overall grade. So if you lose some points in the quizzes, you could potentially make it up with extra credit earned from the homework. All right, quizzes are all open book, open notes, and open internet. Okay, use the tools at your disposal, use the knowledge that you have learned. Show me your best work. It doesn't mean it's going to be hard or harder or anything like that. It just means I've tried everything in the past, and I've found that there's very minimal difference between students not using anything versus student using one single equation sheet versus keeping everything open. Okay, similar level of problems, performance level has been the same. Okay, so I figure, why not make everything available to you? As practicing engineers, everything will be available to you when you go to work, right? If you're in a meeting, yes, you have to bring up something from memory. Other than that, if you're sitting at your desk, you need to do some work, you can refer to anything you want. So as students, I'll provide everything that you need. Open book, open notes, open internet. Just don't dial a friend. Okay? No dial a friend. Don't look up solutions. Otherwise, you are hurting yourself, right? It's your education. If you're going to look up the answers, you're not going to learn. And trust me, at the end, it's going to affect, when you go for interviews, when you go for, start your professional careers, that's going to be a big deal. So show me your best work, learn, use the resources that are at your disposal. Meaning if you get stuck, you can't remember an equation, you look it up, that's fine. But understand what the equation is about, understand how to apply that equation, and that's the big deal, right? So again, open book, open everything, just don't contact anyone else for assistance. All the assignments are uploaded on Canvas. So when I said you can, students like disappear for the entire quarter, it is possible to do so because everything is submitted online. The homework is online, quizzes are online, except for the final exam. Final exam is in person in this classroom. Everything else is online. So quizzes, whether you're taking in person, whether you're taking online, at the end, you're done. 15 minutes quiz, done at 8:25. And then I give 5 minutes after that to scan your work and upload on Canvas. Okay. And by now, I believe every student is an expert on uploading on Canvas. But there is a 1-point assignment on Canvas called Quiz 0. All you have to do is you scan anything, at least 2 pages of anything, like a blank sheet of paper is also fine. At least 2 pages, create a single PDF file and upload it on Canvas. There's 1 point for that. Just want to make sure everybody is familiar with the website and the system, okay? Don't worry about the dates on there right now. The dates are going to be adjusted as we go along in the quarter, okay? So that's that. Final exam is cumulative and comprehensive. It is not optional, okay? You can choose not to give the final exam, right? So the highest grade possible without a student giving the final exam would be a B, 80%. So 80% is a C plus, potentially a B minus, but a C plus is the maximum you could earn if you don't give the final exam. Okay, final exam is worth 20% of your overall grade. So if you don't give the final exam, maximum you can earn is 80%, which is a C plus. So I use the standard Cal Poly grading scheme, which is on this, nope. And right here, sorry. So standard grading scheme. So if you don't give the final exam, maximum, if you earn 100% on the homework, 100% on the quizzes, you earn an 80% in the class, 80% would put you right here. C plus. If you cross 80, maybe with extra credit, you are at a B minus. Okay. All right. Final exam. There is no Zoom option. All final exams are in person. I started doing open book, open everything for final exams also. At the very least, you might have an equation sheet, okay, or all the notes that you want. No electronic devices at that time, no internet. You print out or handwrite any of the notes that you want, but most likely I will still stick with that. Open book, open notes, but not open internet for the final exam. Please read the rules that I have here, and I will go over this in the last week of class also. Your university schedule final dates and times, and I don't like this, is at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's in this classroom on a Monday. That's a Monday after the last week of class, 7 o'clock in the morning. Or you can do the Saturday at 1 p.m. That is right before, okay? So that's an optional. That's open to all students in both sections, but it depends if the students want to take it or not, okay? So again, it's optional, it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. So you can take the exam on the Saturday, which is basically right after the last week of classes, right before finals week. Okay. So if you choose to do that, I will have a form, survey form at the end of this page. I don't have it yet. I need to update that form, but you can fill out that survey form, which is right here at the bottom. And then you can let me know if you wish to take it on a Saturday. Space, actually, you know what? I doubt I'd have all 70 students on Saturday. So this classroom can accommodate about 40 students, and then I'll open up 126 or 130 next door. So if all 70 students do decide to come on Saturday, we will have the space. Okay. Again, you don't have to provide a reason. If you want to take it on a Saturday, it's fine. I will also give students the option of taking it with the other section. So if students don't want to give it on a Monday or a Saturday and want to take it on the Wednesday, they can do so. So I give students in all my sections, Monday students can take it on the Wednesday, or Wednesday students can take it on Monday, meaning you can take an exam with section 02. Okay. Flexibility is the name of the game. All right. Questions? Any other questions? We are at 8:45. And lastly, instructor evaluations. Okay. Instructor evaluations, how many of you filled them out? I know you're all busy during the last quarter, but we appreciate when students submit these, okay? These are completely anonymous. They come directly from the university administration. We don't receive these evaluations until the beginning of next quarter. Summer quarter ended in August 30. I still haven't received my evaluations. My first 5-week session ended in July 31st. I still haven't received those either. So we don't get those until way into the next quarter. The only thing we see at our end in that week is that, okay, we have 36 students in the class and 20 of 36 have submitted evaluations, or 10 of 36 have submitted evaluations. We don't get to see names, numbers, nothing, right? It's completely anonymous. Evaluation scale is 1 through 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. And I realized this, I think in spring quarter, when a student left a feedback during one of my unofficial evaluations. And that student had written, I chose 3 because I'm neutral. And that's when I realized that we do have to explain, because everybody is not familiar with the evaluation scales. So if you earn 50% in a class, did you pass? Did you fail? Any class? Everywhere, pretty much 50% out of 100, it's a failing grade, right? Minimum passing is 60%. Standard grading scheme, pretty much everywhere, that 60% is passing grade. So 50%, we would think on a scale from 0 to 100 would be average, but it's not average. So in that same manner, 3 on a scale of 1 to 5 is not average. So when I read that evaluation, that's when I realized that perhaps I should start explaining, what the scale is, because everybody's not familiar. Not to pick on anybody. Obviously, somebody wrote it. I have no idea who, but I figured I'd better start explaining. So 3 is not average. The actual department average is 4.3 across the entire, like thousands and thousands of evaluations is about 4.3. Okay. So that being said, you should always choose the experience. I mean, you should always choose the number that best fits your experience of that class and that instructor, okay? Always strive to get towards the higher end, obviously, but cannot be successful. If you are 35, 36 students in a class, everybody's experience is going to be different, right? Everybody's not the same. So to that end, to the point that we do not get these evaluations until the end of the quarter. So this is a little bit of extra work. What I try to do is I provide extra credit in terms of the response rate. Okay. So response rate, meaning how many students submitted the evaluation. So if 36 students in a class, 18 students submit the evaluations, that's 50% response rate. Every student in the class receives 0.5% of extra credit towards their overall grade. Again, every student in the class receives that extra credit. If everybody fills it out, it's 100% response rate. You get 1 full extra credit point towards your overall grade. That's why I stated a student without giving the final exam could cross 80% if they have extra credit. Okay. So it is in your best interest to, submit the evaluation if you can. Again, it's optional. It's a little bit of extra work. So I, provide extra credit in that. But it doesn't help students in the current class, right? So if something's not working for you, you let the professor know, but the generation of students that come after you will benefit, not you. So to that end, I have unofficial evaluations. And this unofficial weekly evaluations are exactly the same as the Cal Poly ones, except it's a Google form. It's anonymous. It doesn't ask any information from you. It's simply the same standard questions as the Cal Poly evaluation forms. Okay, you rate the instructor 1 through 5, and you can place a comment in there. If there is something that doesn't work for you, then you let me know via this form. That is a middleman or middle person between you and me. That's an ombudsman. How many of you have heard of the word ombudsman? An ombudsman is kind of like a middle person between two groups of people. Okay. Like, let's say between some workers and some management, there's an ombudsman to represent their concerns. So you can not anonymously, but you could let the ombudsman know something that is not working, and that person passes on your issues to higher up. Okay. So the same way, this form, I don't have that form right here. It's in the assignments. That form will let me know if something is not working for you. Again, it's completely anonymous. It's an online form. It doesn't ask for your email address. You could send it to your buddy sitting in a beach in Florida, and they could fill it out too. But please don't do that. Not unless you give me a fight. But this is just a way for communication from you to me. Okay, that's all. It's only a means of communication between you and me. So if something doesn't work, you let me know. And it will show up every week on a Saturday in your assignments. Okay, these are unofficial evaluations. And again, as I said, it's simply a Google form. It doesn't ask you for any personal information. You simply choose which class you're submitting this information for and which week. And then the same standard questions that are there in the Cal Poly forms. Any comments you have can go down at the bottom, right there. And again, it's a little bit of extra work. So there is a little bit of extra credit in it for you. 36 students in a class, 9 weeks. There's potentially what, 300, more than 300, 320 point. Excuse me. There's potentially 320 reviews that you could submit overall the entire quarter. Make sense, right? So again, depending on the response rate, I will give every student up to 2 points of extra credit applied directly to your overall grade. If I have more than 300 evaluations, nearly 100%, every student will receive about 1.8, 1.9 points of extra credit towards your overall grade. So again, everything is set up to benefit you, the student. I provide all the resources, make sure that your learning progresses smoothly, and then your grades are in proportion to the work that you do. Okay. There is no unnecessary penalties levied on the student. If you're here to learn the material, so I don't want students to learn the material in fear. That's the main thing. So if you need to take multiple attempts to learn, you do so. Okay, there is a minimal penalty obviously in there, but it's not as if you get it wrong, you get a 0. It's not like that. All right, that was optional evaluation credit. Textbook, attendance, participation. I think I covered this, right? Attendance, participation, and late work. Yeah. Again, I don't mandate attendance. You choose what works best for you. I posted this and I said first week participation activity, but there's some issues with the package. So I have to talk to the bookstore and the publisher, make sure everything is accessible to all the students. I think the charge appears directly in your student account, but you should have access to the Connect ebook directly. So after class, if you have some time, please sign up for the Connect account for McGraw-Hill through Canvas, and ensure that let me know if you still don't have access. Okay. Let's see. We're almost out of time. There are accessibility and diversity. If you have need for accommodations, please reach out to the Disability Resource Center as soon as possible. They are the experts in this. They guide me on how to best accommodate your particular needs without putting you on the spot. Okay. So again, you reach out to them and they will let me know what I need to do. There are also lots of other support resources. There's student support and basic needs. There's the Cal Poly Food Pantry Program. That's in the building right behind Graphic Arts, next to that. How many of you know the Campus Health and Wellbeing Center, right? It's right there. And it's pretty great. There are lots of students who go there. It's also open to faculty and staff on Fridays. So they called me once for a walkthrough. So I went there, they showed me around. So I always make it a point to point it out. Okay. So it's not as if it's distant. So it's there open for all students. Go stop by once in a while, take a look at what they have. Sometimes they have they have fresh coffee available all the time, or so I've been told. So they have fresh coffee. They have some, I think, snacks for students to pick up anytime they want. All you have to do is you have to swipe your ID and go in there. So do check that out. There are other student support services. This is a short list. There is a more comprehensive list right here. There's many to actually just go through, but there's lots of things for parents, for people who are caregivers, for students who have dependents, military veterans, students who might be working full time. There's lots of other resources. So take advantage of the resources that are available to you. Okay. All right, we are almost out of time. Let's see some discussions. Oh, introduce yourself. One last thing. So this is basically just a way I like to implement in the class so students can get to know each other. There's no compulsion or mandate. If you want to keep everything private, you don't have to post anything. Okay, you let me know and I'll make sure you get the points. Okay, but you have to let me know if you're not going to post. Don't just leave it empty. Okay, so this is basically, I have a few prompts in there. Just several students have already filled it out. I filled it out first, so mine is right here. I tooted my own horn a little bit, but you can read it at your. Yeah, at some point in my life, I was a do-rag wearing a leather jacket riding motorcycle. Especially when I had like a full beard and head cap covered. But that was a long time ago, 2006. And then lots of students have already submitted, so go ahead and do that. So I found from here that lots of students, it's amazing the variety of hobbies and interests that students have. And every once in a while, there are 2 or 3 students who say, I didn't know anybody who had the same hobbies as I did. And so that's always a good thing. You might make a new acquaintance, perhaps even a new friend. Okay. All right, so we'll stop right here and we'll begin class on Wednesday at the same time. All right.